Welcome to Wellness Through Physical Therapy. I'm Paula Degnan. Ting-O is here. Hi, Ting. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, good. We are here at the Physical Therapy and Balance Centers in the Churchill Mall in Hazleton. And knees.
Yes.
Can't live with them, can't live without them.
Right.
And this one right here, that's why we're here today, Ting.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think there's a little bit of pain going on every now and then.
Okay.
So what does that tell you?
That you have knee pain.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thanks for joining us. No, really.
Yeah, you're one of the majority really out there, because there is a lot of people out there with knee pain and arthritis.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a lot of new research going out on knee pains and arthritis, and they're showing that there are a lot of treatment alternatives. And a lot of people, I don't know if you've considered this or not, but most people when they think of pains with their knees and arthritis think, one, what can I take for that? So they look for medications. Two, is there a shot that can help with it? So, you know, a lot of people go out and get injections for like the chicken shots and the cortisone shots.
Right.
Or three, you know, is surgery gonna fix it? So, and there's a couple of really misunderstood things about medications, injections, and surgeries, and hopefully we'll be able to help you educate on that over the next few minutes.
Well, when we're talking about knees and we talk about the knee pain, sometimes it's not constant.
Right.
So then I can see why people might say, I'll go get a shot.
Right.
Because then it'll kind of bind it over for a little while.
Sure.
Sometimes it's not as bad as others. Sometimes it's induced when you're walking.
Right.
So if you hear someone come in and tell you these things specifically, does that give you a better idea of what modality of treatment?
Just from what you say, no. But from a series of tests that we will do, then yeah, we can try and determine what is the cause of the pain, and it may not be what you think it is. Even though, you know, an MRI or an X-ray may show something, research has shown that MRI of the knee is not very accurate. For example, there is around about 70+% of people without knee pain, when they get an MRI, will show a torn meniscus. So that tells us that a torn meniscus is not necessarily painful. Oh. And from an old professor that I remember getting in a conference from, he said that there is a 50+% false positives for meniscal tears on MRI. So 50+% of the time, an MRI is going to show you have a torn meniscus, and you won't actually have one.
Wow.
So MRIs are very misleading. So we can, like through doing physical tests, we can actually try and determine what the functional problem is that might be creating your pain versus the structural problem that may exist but may not be creating you pain.
That's why I love Ting-O. He can turn all this around and make another way of looking at things so that you immediately don't have to go, oh my gosh, what am I going to do?
The cool thing is all this is research-based. So most medical providers will know this, but will they follow the recommendations? Not so sure.
Well, we're going to find out. As far as Ting is concerned, he talked about doing some tests. So we're going to put maybe my knee to the test and find out exactly what's going on as we return to Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Don't go away.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
At the Joyce Insurance Group, we offer insurance tailored to your needs. We protect what matters most to you.
We've been serving the needs of thousands of clients throughout Northeast Pennsylvania since 1955.
Our professional agents are dedicated to providing you with a great insurance experience.
With 62 years in business, our clients are the reason that we care the most.
Ask any of our 5,000 plus satisfied customers, and they'll tell you The right choice is Joyce.
For over 25 years, Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, 118 Boulevard Road, Bloomsburg, has provided professionally designed skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields. All stations are handicap accessible, with resident NRA certified shooting instructors on site. There are packages available to fit anyone's budget, restaurant and catering on site. Our facility is also available for weddings, business meetings, bachelor and private parties. Call 570-384-2314.
Welcome back to Wellness Through Physical Therapy, and Ting O has given my knee the once-over. Now, that is something that you would normally do with someone who comes in and presents with a knee concern?
Yep, yeah, we would we'd want to try, there are certain knee problems that have certain patterns in terms of what you should feel. So classically, people that tell us they have pains going up and down steps, worse going down usually, up and down hills, squatting, getting up from a chair. In worst cases, people will get pain sitting for long periods of time with their knee bent. That's a classical pattern that we see with what we call patellofemoral pains. And the pain typically will be in the front of the knee, like right in here or in there. So from what you described to me of when you're getting pains, it sort of pushed my mind towards, is this a patellofemoral problem, which when we tested your knee out, we would check the ligaments, make sure the ligaments are good. I checked the meniscus, there didn't seem to be any problems there. And then we checked for some tightnesses, which we know from previous testing on you, that you have tight hamstrings, tight calves. You also have tightnesses on the outside of your leg, which again is very classical for people with patellofemoral knee pain. And you also had some weakness around the hip, which is again classical for patellofemoral knee pain. So one of the tests that we do is we will stabilize your kneecap with some taping and see if it changes the symptoms. Does it make the pain easier with walking up and down steps, getting up from sit? And if that is the case, then that kind of helps back our theory in terms of that it is a patellofemoral pain syndrome. And from there, we can develop a program to try and help fix it, basically.
So with the idea of coming in and saying, I would like to be able to exercise, but I have this pain when I do this, so you're able to address that, and then go one step further and be able to give strengthening exercises?
Yeah, so there's a classical pattern in people with knee pains, and we see a lot of people with arthritis. We see a lot of people with knee injuries. We see a lot of people who just sprain their knee. And I will tell you that, like I said previously, a structural problem, if it's degenerative, like a torn meniscus or arthritis or all sorts of knee problems that is showing up on MRI, does not necessarily equate to pain, because there's a lot of people out there with bad arthritis on MRI that don't have pain. So what then is creating the pain? In my belief, it is what we call the collateral damage to the knee, musculoskeletal problems, muscle imbalances, kneecap problems. We find that maybe 80 to 90% of the people that we deal with knee pain, we tape their knee like we taped you, most of the pain will go away. The research shows that the thing that correlates to knee pain is one, quadricep weakness. People with knee pain can only contract their quadricep at about 70% of their maximum. So if we can get people strengthening their quadricep muscle, which is the major thigh muscle, a lot of people will find that their pains will improve. They've correlated research now that shows hip weakness can contribute to knee pain. So most of the people that we do see with knee pain, they will have weak hips. And what that actually means is that when your hips are weak, you're going to walk in a different way. And when you walk in a different way, it's going to put more stress on your knee, create certain stresses. One of them is patellofemoral stress, which is stress that goes through your kneecap. And when that happens, it creates a lot of pain for a lot of people. And they've also correlated things like abdominal weakness. They've correlated things like feet mechanics. So there's a lot of correlations to functional problems that are not related to structural issues that lead to pain. So instead of trying to fix the structural things, which I've come across so many people after a knee replacement
Right.
that don't feel better.
Right.
So you don't have arthritis in the knee anymore.
Right.
What is the problem? You know, there's no arthritis, so how can there be pain? So in those cases, a lot of it, I believe, is what I call the collateral damage problems, which is the soft tissue, the alignment, the structural, or the functional differences, and you know, weaknesses. And another thing is stability as well.
One of the things too is when you're talking about all the different, and we're on our feet, and everything's attached, and everything goes from point A to point B, and so it's possible that there's something misaligned. Shoes.
Right. Exactly.
Shoes.
Yep.
And especially women.
Right.
Who have tendency to put on some very scary shoes sometimes, yes. at least from someone from your perspective, yes. who would look at a woman's shoes and say, wow, what that's doing to her spine, her back.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, you know, when you don't, most of us don't have good muscles in our feet because we're used to wearing shoes all our life.
Right.
So we've never used our feet muscles. And when we don't use our feet muscles and we don't have the support through our feet, the alignment of our feet is going to be creating what's like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Instead of our legs being straight up and down, it's going to be curved to one way, twisted another way. And what that does is put stresses on the knee, hips, back, and further up the chain, which creates more problems for them, obviously.
Right. So it's one way or another, or if you have back pain, sometimes you compensate.
Yes.
And then that can also cause the problem going down this way, or if you have neck pain.
Right.
You the same kind of problems.
So there's a lot of different problems that can create knee pain rather than structural, like I said. And so if you're going in and trying to give it an injection, is that really going to help? Plus they found that over a 2-year period, they've done a study where they found that the people that had frequent knee injections, cortisone injections, had twice as much cartilage loss than people that didn't, that had saline injections. So 1, it may not help. 2, it may create more problems further down the track.
Wow. And you never know until you come in and ask and get an assessment and be able to figure out exactly what you're looking for, what the problems are. And the best thing about the whole thing is that as you talk to Ting, he's already 3 steps ahead of you. Because as I'm explaining to him about my knee, he's already thinking, well, this could be this and that could be that, and this is what we're going. And that, for someone like me, is a big help, because sometimes you have no idea what direction to head in.
That's why we get paid the big bucks, right?
Well, I don't know about that, but we'll find out more when we come back about that. Wellness Through Physical Therapy will continue. Don't go away.
There's only one truck that pushes the boundaries of technology and ingenuity. The Ram 1500. During Ram Truck Month at All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get new 2018 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Express for only $32,932. Learn more at allamericanjeep.net.
Make the beer stop your stop for the best selection of beer in the area. Over 450 types of beer, a huge variety of styles to please everyone's tastes. Over 150 microbrews, including hard-to-find beers. Over 100 German and Belgian beers and frozen daiquiris to go. Do you like trying new beers? Make your own 6-pack at the beer stop with a large assortment of single bottles. The beer stop is open until midnight every day, all year long. Make the beer stop your stop. 16 North Broad Street in West Hazleton.
I'm Gary Perna. I was born and raised here in Clare, Schuylkill County. I'm proud to be a part of the WYLN team, and I'm excited to be part as WYLN brings communities together through the power of television.
Non-attorney spokesperson. Attention! Have you been seriously injured or has a loved one been killed in a motor vehicle accident?
Call 800-305-5643.
For a free legal case review, you may be entitled to compensation. Personal injuries can happen at any point in your lifetime, and in a few seconds, you or a loved one may suffer debilitating injuries that could change your life forever. For over 25 years, the Pulaski Law Firm has been an advocate for those who have been seriously injured. Let the lawyers at the Pulaski Law Firm get the compensation you may justly deserve. If you have been seriously injured and suffered permanent injuries, burns, and broken bones, or a loved one has been killed because of a car, truck, or motorcycle accident,
call 800-305-5643.
get some peace of mind now.
Call 800-305-5643.
For a free consultation, you may be entitled to compensation.
Call 800-305-5643.
There's only one truck that pushes the boundaries of technology and ingenuity. The Ram 1500. During Ram Truck Month at All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get new 2018 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Express for only $32,932. Learn more at allamericanjeep.net.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about visiting a restaurant that has a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the types of things that we will be featuring on our new show, Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. Jeff Bonomo, host of Off the Beaten Path, welcomes you into the world of craft beer, great wine, and good eats. Wine, Hops, and Road Stops.
Welcome back to Wellness Through Physical Therapy, and we're at the point now where Ting-O is going to do what? Show me how to put on a bandage or
fix your problem.
Fix my problem. Well, that's why I'm here. Okay, go for it.
So one of the things, like we mentioned, the structural problem that tends to exist, not the structural problem, but the problem that tends to exist with a lot of knee pains is swelling, tightness, and weakness. So what we want to do in physical therapy is to address swelling, tightness, and weakness. So one of the first things we'll do is to help with any inflammatory response that might happen, and tightness is in the soft tissue. So we make use of a lot of tools which has been found to be very good at reducing tightness, and one of them is using this little scraping tool, instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization that we use. Just bend your knee there, Paula. And we've just come across some exciting new product that we've been using called hemp oil, hemp cream. It's what hemp is. It's got some very good anti-inflammatory properties to it, and is very good in antioxidants as well, and pain relief. So we use creams, and a lot of people with patellofemoral pains will have problems on the inside of their knee. So we'll work through there and just get some of this nice cream into your tissues. And one of the tightnesses that develop in patellofemoral problems is on the outside of your knee. Okay, so up into the thigh. So we'll work down into this outer thigh and knee to try and sort of loosen things up, because what tends to happen is there's an imbalance in the way your kneecap is pulled. And when people with knee problems, we typically find that the tightness on the outside of your knee is going to pull your kneecap this way. And the weakness doesn't pull it back that way, because there should be an equal tug from both sides. But with the tightness, it tends to shift to the outer aspect of the knee, which creates a lot of rubbing, and which creates that grinding that you felt when you went to squat, and which can create the pain. So we'll work on that for like 10-15 minutes until things are nice and loose.
So if someone was coming here to work out, would this be something that you would be able to offer them?
This is something that we would offer them through physical therapy, yes. So obviously, just the working out process, we wouldn't be on there to do this with someone. But if they actively had a problem, we would always offer our gym members a free assessment in terms of trying to figure out why they are getting pain. And once we complete that free assessment, we would make recommendations, and if someone wants to exercise independently, great, we'll show them what to do. If they want more assistance, then through physical therapy, we can do things like this to try and help improve their knee function.
I think that's wonderful, because that's the type of thing that we've talked about many times, as far as keeping people coming back to the gym to work out in order to get the best benefit.
Right, like I said, we want people to engage. We don't want absentee members here. We want our members to be here. Because we want them to achieve their goals. So after we work out on tightnesses and loosen stuff, we'll usually tape the knee to try and give the muscles a mechanical advantage, because one thing that we found is when you have pain, your knee muscles shut down. So no pain, no gain when it comes to knee exercises does not apply. So one way we can help reduce pain is to tape. like as you probably see with a lot of athletes do. They have tape all over their body so that they can do what they got to do. So one of the more effective things that we found for patellofemoral pain is this type of taping, what we call McConnell taping, developed by a physical therapist in Australia. And what it does is it helps with the tracking of your kneecap. And most people, when they have it on, will find that their knee feels more stable and have less pain.
So this isn't something that anybody could just tape up and go to the store and get some tape and tape their knee?
Oh yeah, you can. We actually find that a lot of our clients, once they get done with us, if they're going to be doing things like going for a run, or if they're going to be doing something strenuous, we'll encourage them, tape your knee, we'll teach them how. And then this way they can continue to keep their knee in good health even when they're not needing us anymore. But you got to be careful what type of tape you use, because not all tape will do this to your knee. So,
right.
Rather than use duct tape, which I wouldn't recommend, get the right tape for this. Even though duct tape may work well.
Wow.
So after we tape, we will work on like tightnesses and weaknesses. So one of the tightnesses that we know you have, Paula, is your hamstring. So what we'll do is we'll do some hamstring stretches, one of the classical ones being this, to where it gets tight, and then you hold it there. There are different ways you can stretch your hamstrings. There are active stretches. There are all sorts of stretches. But a very classical one that we'll do is like this. And we'll typically hold for, the best amount of time to hold a stretch for is between 30 seconds to a minute. Because after a minute, you're not going to get too much more benefits. And shorter than 30 seconds, you're not going to get a huge amount of benefits either. So stretching that will be great. Another very classical tightness that we'll find is the iliotibial band, which is on the outside of your knee. We may stretch that as well. And the calf is something that is very tight on you as well. So stretching that calf out this way can also be very good to loosen things up. And if we find that just stretching doesn't help, we'll actually get in there and break up those knots for you so that it'll release quicker.
Well, that is the real fine line between pleasure and pain.
Yep.
Now, we talked a little bit about shoes before.
Yep.
Do they make a difference?
Yes, they do. Yeah, because like I said, alignment of your foot is very important. Okay, so our feet are designed to be shaped like this, with our leg coming straight up and down like this. Okay, so what tends to happen is as we get older, our feet tend to roll this way and flatten out. They roll inwards. So when your foot rolls inwards, your leg is going to tilt with it. And when it tilts with it, your leg is going to start rolling inwards. It's going to start moving inwards, kind of like knock knees. And when you have knock knees, the alignment of your quadricep is going to be different. And when the alignment of your quadricep is going to be different, it's going to pull on this kneecap different. And when it pulls on the kneecap different, it's going to create that patellofemoral pain that we were talking about.
So is that something that can happen over time?
That can definitely happen over time, yes.
So
and,
it's something that, again, if you're not walking the correct way, if you're compensating,
yes,
all of that can make a difference.
Make a difference, yeah. So I mean, if you do it over like a couple of years, it may not be an issue. But once you get to my age, like 45, over time, over 20, 30 years, it obviously creates stress to the point where it starts to develop arthritis.
Okay.
So yeah, it can definitely make a difference. Get good shoes. We recommend Bionics because they're podiatrist designed. And also, if you don't have like good shoes, orthotics are always a good thing to develop as well. If you have more questions about that, don't be afraid to give us a call here. And the final thing we would want to do is work on strength. Okay. So the key strengthening areas, aside from the knee, for knee problems is the hips, the abdominals, and the calves. So a key exercise to do for your knees, a lot of people won't even realize this, is a bridge. Okay, just bend your knees and go ahead and pick your bottom up. There you go. So they found that hip weakness, the gluteals, and drop it down, puts extra stress on your quadriceps, which can put extra stress on your knees. So if you have weakness in your glutes, and most of us should be able to lift our bottom up one-legged, okay, up as high as you can. So if you can't straighten all the way out one-legged like that, it means that your gluteus maximuses are usually a little weak. So
And with that, we're going to take a break because my glutamus maximuses are definitely weak. Don't go away. Wellness Through Physical Therapy continues.
Once upon a time, it was just me, Marge, and the internet.
But then came Manny and Marky, Margaret, Midge, Marcy.
Marcy, then Midge.
Oh, yes. And then Mikey, Miley, and finally, little Marie.
That's when we noticed things started to slow down.
You mean the internet?
Yeah, the internet started to slow down because we were all connecting devices.
I'm pregnant.
We need a faster internet.
Get 150 meg internet from Service Electric with enough bandwidth to power all your family's devices. Call today.
What's on TV? Plenty. WYLN TV 35, the best in local programming.
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer-dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, and outside grill and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
Welcome back to Wellness Through Physical Therapy. My knee feels really good.
That's good.
That's great. That's absolutely wonderful. Now, because again, as someone who has a bit of a knee problem, my first thought is, uh-oh, I'm going to have to start thinking about maybe getting injections. I'm going to have to think about surgery.
Right.
But what you're telling me is not necessarily just like that.
No, if you understand that the knee injections actually create more arthritis, more damage to your cartilage, so long term that may not be a great idea if you can get away with something else. And most of the research out there for arthroscopic knee surgeries for degenerative changes, including arthritis and meniscal tears, have been found to be only as effective as placebo surgery, where they've actually made the incisions but did nothing to the knee, and is no more effective than doing physical therapy.
Oh boy.
So arthroscopic knee surgery, you're going to have the surgery, there's a great likelihood that you're going to end up exactly the same as if you just did physical therapy. So rushing out for those things is not something that I would recommend, especially if you can get the same results with conservative treatment.
And this is definitely conservative treatment, and it feels so much better.
Yeah.
The folks here at Physical Therapy and Balance Centers in the Churchill Mall in Hazleton, they have wonderful ideas, and you're always looking for good people, aren't you?
Yes, we're always looking for good people.
Yeah. So just in case we happen to know somebody out there, you can come and study under the mastership of Ting O, because, wow, can I take you home with me?
As long as you give me Vegemite and beer, I'll be good.
There we go. Certainly hope that you will join us again on Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Vegemite and what?
Beer.